to another new episode of our recruitment podcast with me, Will, and
me, Lauryn.
How are you doing, Lauryn?
I'm doing really well. How
Good.
are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm not bad. I've had a pretty decent weekend, I think, actually. I think last week with work, it was, in recruitment, it kind of ebbs and flows a bit. It was busy bits and then it goes a bit quieter.
I don't know what quiet's like.
No, well, there's something. But yeah, I think that there's always it's a bit of a supply-demand thing going on. And
Definitely.
I was in a bit, so did some good work and was quite productive, but then it's a case of weekend, rest, bit of downtime. We obviously had a healthcare assistant day.
We did.
Which is always nice to attend and to meet people, meet the candidates and meet the interview panels. And then it's a case of, right, go again.
Let's go again.
So yeah. But this week we are discussing
Our maternity vacancies and recruitment.
Yeah, maternity, which is wonderful. It's a massive thing, and I know lots of people have very personal stories linked to maternity. It's something that a lot of people engage with our hospitals through maternity services and through places like the Shower Green unit. So it's maybe something that will touch a lot of people, and it touches me. I always tell everyone both my daughters were born at Preston Hospital on the Shower Green unit, so it's a personal thing. Anyway, with that in mind, let's get stuck into it. Do you reckon?
Let's just dive right in.
Dive right in?
Dive right in.
Dive right in. Okay, so what kind of vacancies do we have on our maternity unit, Lauryn?
We have quite a range, really. Obviously, just your midwives, your band 5 and your band 6 midwife posts.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your sort of senior midwives up at band 7, a couple of band 8As around maternity, and then a lot of band 3s as well. Maternity support worker.
I think it's worth saying that obviously maternity, it is similar in ways to any ward, and there's also housekeepers that come up, and there's ward clerks and roles like that still exist. It's not just like a closed door.
Definitely not.
No. However, there is something interesting around the healthcare support workers, the band 3 and band 2, the healthcare assistants, isn't there? Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Can try.
Go on.
So we don't typically have band 2 vacancies
in
maternity. Typically tends to be band 3.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously for that band 3 you need specific healthcare experience.
The competencies.
Yep. So at the moment a lot of our students, student midwives, they can't unfortunately bank as band 2s or band 3s because they've not got the competencies that are the same as what our student nurses have. Because there's obviously different courses, you get different competencies.
They're on a different pathway essentially, aren't they? Because they're students who are studying. So you can have if you had it previously, then probably could. But that's not a mechanism that often happens. It's it's a separate issue. But go on.
Definitely.
Sorry.
So it tends to be more your band 3s than your band 2s in maternity for ward-based vacancies.
We'll also bring in at this point as well, and you can ask me a bit more about this because obviously it's a two-way conversation. Theatre support roles exist as well on the Shower Green unit in maternity, because obviously they have theatres at Shower Green.
Yeah.
So, and I would say, personal experience with it. It's not, I have no qualms in saying I've been present at a caesarean section and seen the great work that they do there, which was an amazing experience. But that's obviously something that we do as well, is the theatre support role.
So what kind of things does a theatre support worker do at the Shower Green unit?
Well, I think it's exactly what it says on the tin. No, you're laughing. You're laughing. It's true. I've interviewed a really great colleague of ours called Mo. I interviewed him at Chorley, and he works in theatres, and I literally said, what does a theatre support worker do? And he looked at me and said, they support in theatres. And it's exactly what they do. They you know, they're there, they're helping out, they assist, they get things, they inform, you know, other staff of what's going on, where they're up to. They're kind of eyes and ears and real core members of that team. You can't just take them out and think the process would be involved. Yeah. You know, they are right in the thick of it. So it does sound a bit daft and a bit cliche going, they're theatre support workers, but that's exactly what they do. You know, I think some roles at times they kind of get blinded by words, don't they? And they kind of get dressed up into things that they are. But a theatre support worker is a theatre support worker, and it's something that you can come into and apply. We do have vacancies for. They are a band 2. So you can do without experience, and there's relevant training. Obviously, if you were a healthcare worker anyway and wanted to make that step, you can.
Yeah, you definitely can.
You know, from the wards into surgery, but there are definitely, you know, there's routes in there for the theatres. Definitely, yeah, 100%.
Have you heard about the student midwife engagement open day?
No, what's that? I mean, I know it's obviously a student nurse. Engagement
student midwife.
Student midwife, not student. Get so used to student nurse.
I know. It's it's our kind of first real one that we're
doing for midwives.
Okay,
tell me more.
Well, it's going to be on the 29th of November.
Edit. It's actually the 30th of November. The date has changed since this was recorded. Right, this year. 2022.
2022, next month.
Right.
Over at Preston Hospital. Specific location to be confirmed.
Okay, so that it could be on the unit or it might be elsewhere.
Could be elsewhere. But it's a chance for anyone studying midwifery. Studying, get my words out.
Yeah.
Midwifery to come along, meet the teams, have a bit of a chat and discussion about what it's like working in our maternity wards and units at Preston.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. I mean, I know that obviously my job role, not just my personal life, having had 2 kids born at Preston, but I've obviously worked with staff and been here for 2 years now, and I have had a couple of tours around maternity, and I've done, you know, seen around neonatal. I've done some videos with midwives. I've been on maternity A and maternity B. And it's an amazing place. That it is incredible. So I think offering that insight to our students,
definitely,
they'll get a lot out of it from doing that. If that's the format, I mean, obviously it might be different if it's elsewhere in like the Health Academy. But even the Health Academy is a great building.
It is.
Which is where we hold our HCA days.
It is indeed. And our other recruitment days and everything we do.
Everything we do.
And have we got any vacancies out currently?
In maternity specifically?
Yeah.
So this might sound really daft because we've done a podcast episode on it, but at the moment I don't think so, currently at time of recording, but that's not to say that they don't come up, because they do obviously come up. We've got a natural turnover of staff because we've got so many staff, so we do have opportunities that come up, and it is obviously very competitive. Maternity, babies, anything to do with caring for mothers, that, you know, it is popular, but that's not to say that vacancies don't exist. They do. I just think I would recommend for people to be pretty sharp at looking on our websites and proactive, absolutely. Follow us on social media, look at our vacancies, check the website. Yeah, totally. That's the best bit of advice. You've said it, Lauryn. Be proactive.
Be proactive.
Be proactive. Totally. Well, thank you very much for listening to the latest episode of our podcast all about maternity. It might feel a little bit brief, but we haven't had a guest this week, and I think we'll be touching on some bits again later on in future episodes. As ever, feel free to get in touch, and we will endeavour to update you with answers to your questions or any suggestions. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.